Please read the First Amendment.
Representative Heller offered the following amendment with ballot amendment. Barcode 272755, remove lines 33 through 38 and insert amendment.
Representative Heller, you're recognized to explain your amendment. Representative Heller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this amendment merely seeks to amend the bill to keep the cap at the kindergarten, first, second, and third grade at the 18 level. Now, the reason I ask for that is because all the research that has been completed in regard to class size, almost overwhelmingly, it shows that class sizes around 18 and below, actually 15 to 18, produce significant results. And, you know, what I would like to just share with you a little bit here are some kind of testimonies to that, if I may, Mr. Speaker. For example, in Charlotte, North Carolina, they limited their class sizes in kindergarten, first, second, and third grades to 16. That particular urban district received by the National Association or National Assessment for Educational Progress the most progress in terms of achievement of any urban district in terms of class size and in terms of achievement. Also, I would indicate that in the state of Tennessee and also in the state of Wisconsin, two major studies were completed with thousands of children involved. And what they found is that lower class sizes in those first four grades, kindergarten, first, second, and third, produces results that sustain themselves all the way through the rest of that particular child's stay in school. Let me just indicate. For example, extra gains from small classes in the early grades are larger when class size is reduced to less than 20 students. Extra gains from small classes in the early grades are found for various academic topics and for both traditional measures of student achievement and other underscores of student success. Extra gains from small classes in the early grades are retained when students are returned to standard-sized classrooms, and these gains are still present in the upper grades and the middle and high school grades. Although extra gains from small classes in the early grades appear for all types of students, and this is important, friends and members, they are greater for students who have traditionally been educationally disadvantaged. And initial results and consistent results indicate that the greater gains associated with small classes in the early grades for students who have traditionally been educationally disadvantaged are also carried forward into the upper grades and beyond. The other thing we find with small class size at the primary grades is that those individuals with disabilities, those individuals who we are trying in this state and in all states to bring into inclusive settings, are benefited by small class size. And then I would just indicate that when they asked in North Carolina a survey what was the most important thing that they could do to benefit achievement of kids in school, teachers and administrators alike said class size. And one final thing here, and then I'll let you ask me questions if you would like. In Nashville, Tennessee, the kids who had the low class size in kindergarten, first, second, and third grades achieved at about 16% higher all the way through in reading and math. But there's another aspect to this. They had about 30% fewer dropouts from kids who had small class sizes. So one of the things that happens here is, number one, small class size benefits children who come from educationally and socioeconomically disadvantaged families. It also reduces the number of dropouts. It produces gains in reading and math. And if you look at the long term in economics, we will reduce our dropouts. We will reduce the number of kids that have to go into prisons and other kind of things, and we will actually close our achievement gap between our minority students and our more advantaged students. So that's the explanation, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, Representative Heller, having explained the amendment, are any questions of the amendment sponsor? Any questions of the amendment sponsor? Any questions of the amendment sponsor? Are there any amendments to the amendment?
None on the desk, Mr.
Any
Speaker.
substitute amendments?
None on the desk,
Any
Mr. Speaker.
substitute? Is there any debate on this amendment? Any debate? Representative Weatherford, you're recognized in debate, Representative Weatherford, on the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and members, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Representative Heller, who's the ranking member on my council, has probably learned more about forgotten more about education than I'll ever learn. I appreciate you bringing this issue forward. You know I have a lot of respect for you. I would view it as an unfriendly amendment simply because I understand what you're trying to do, but when you really look at the numbers of what we've done in spending $16 billion so far on class size, our class sizes for elementary schools, or K through 3 specifically, has gone down from 23 to 16 students. It's gone down 7 students. Your amendment, while very well intentioned, does not give the flexibility needed to our principals at the elementary school level, in my opinion. Again, it is very well intentioned, I know that, but at this time I would ask my members to please vote no on the amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Weatherford. Representative Bullard, in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would encourage the members to support this. Contrary to what has just been said, we just saw that this amendment actually does create flexibility. By our own admission, the class size in K through 3 has dropped from 23 to 16. This is simply asking for a hard cap of 18. If my mathematics is correct, that looks like a flexible cap of 2 students per class based on what we already have in existence. So I would call that flexibility in comparison to 21. So I would encourage your strong support of this very, very good amendment.
Anyone else in debate? Representative Ray Winkle-Vassland in debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also encourage everyone to vote for this very good amendment. I teach at a community college, and we are very concerned about class size at the community college level with adults. I also went to a school here in Florida where the largest class I was ever in was 20, and that was high-achieving scholars. So I agree that we need to have small class size for our young people, and that 18 should be a hard cap and the max. So I encourage everyone to vote for this good amendment.
Thank you, Representative Ray Winkle-Vassland. Representative Ray Winkle-Vassland. I want to apologize. I understood you had a couple more questions. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate that.
I think you got your point across in debate.
I appreciate that. I will.
Right.
Thank you.
And I apologize.
Thank you.
Okay, any other debate? Any other debate on the bill? Any other debate? Representative Heller, you're recognized to close on your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, there's been the issue of flexibility, and to move the flexibility and move it up. Well, let me indicate and tell you that in this particular area, when we're talking about the primary grades, we shouldn't be talking about increasing that particular cap from 18 to, say, 21. That is not going to be beneficial. You know, the research that's out there, and it's good research, shows without a doubt individuals who are in classrooms with 18 and less do better. And it closes the achievement gap. It helps children who are socioeconomically disadvantaged, and they sustain these gains all the way through. You prevent dropouts. You increase access to college and universities. And you don't gain anything. We will not gain anything by throwing these children, our minority children and our children who are disadvantaged, under the bus because we want to get more flexibility. If we're going to do anything right, keeping this cap at 18 is the best thing for children. It's the best thing for Florida in terms of its future and the children who will be a part of that future. I ask for your support on this amendment, members. I thank you, and thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Heller. Having closed on the amendment, all those in favor of the adoption of the amendment, please say yea. Yea. Those opposed, no. No. Show the amendment fails. Seeing 5 hands, will the clerk please unlock the machines and the members proceed to vote on the amendment. We're voting on the amendment. Will the clerk please lock the machine and announce the vote?
42 yeas, 68 nays,
Show
Mr. Speaker.
the amendment fails. Read the next amendment.